And at number 5 right here on the chart, moving one spot up, Public Goods, Joel Rowlene, as well as Francis Got Heat. Inside is the name of the song. Do you know Rowlene?
I do know Rowlene.
You know Rowlene?
Yeah, I do know Rowlene.
You should tell her that I say she has like a smooth voice.
I'll definitely do
I would
that.
wish she collaborates with one of our BW artists, probably one of the Botswana-based artists that she knows is a lady called Priscilla, because they were together in that Red Bull thing that was coordinated by Red Bull and Nasty C's camp. You know,
Right.
so probably that's one of the ladies she knows. I know. I don't know if she's still signed to Nasty C's label or if
I'm not too sure about the movements there.
Yeah. You should tell her that she has like a smoothness. What's this project again? Public Goods is it's from a record label called Public Records. So this song is a collaboration of the producer is from Canada and one of the dudes is also from Canada.
Right.
So they get artists from all over and they do a collaborative project. That's how the song came about. And yeah, we continue. Now we get to the big one. But actually, before we do get to Big Nunu's Heist, which is available on Netflix, so you're getting bookings, you're making money, merchandise as well. You're producing shows and everything. Before this movie, did you do any film and TV project?
Yeah, so I usually work on film and TV projects as a consultant.
Oh, okay.
And as a performance coach.
You should tell them about me. So
yeah. And the reason I do that is because I'm always keen on an authenticity factor when it comes to performance. And I find that people who've worked in the theater often search for truth through authenticity.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes that's what's lacking from screen acting. So it's not necessarily that the people are not talented or not very gifted, but like the angle through which they might approach the performance might not be as strong.
Oh, yeah.
So I've usually been working behind the scenes as a consultant, as a storyliner, and working on performances for screen.
All right.
I've known Kagiso for a while now, and I've consulted on some of the projects that DeBrenta produces. But for this one, he was like, I think this is the kind of one that we
need you on screen.
Yeah.
Now, how important is it? Because I know, for a person listening in who's studying film or whatever, let's just be honest. Everybody wants to be in front of the screen.
Right.
Even on radio, when a person comes here and says, I want to be on radio, they want to be here where I'm sitting. But, sometimes there's not that much education around. Look, this is what happens in the background. You could actually be the person who consults fashion-wise.
Right.
Who works on the outfits and everything.
Yeah.
How important is it, as you're having conversations with, I know you're out here, Mr. Paya here, I heard you speak to the students. How important is it for you to also highlight the other jobs that are there within the space of film and TV?
I think that's so crucial. I think that is like the backbone of how the industry grows and how so many more people can have a stake in the pie. Because what happens is that, like, if we oversaturate ourselves with only one department, then we've got a long line of actors and no shows to be in.
Oh, yeah.
When somewhere in that select group of 100 people, there's like 10 writers there. There's like 10 people who could be good on camera. There's 10 other people who could be great at storylining. There's other people who are great as editors. And I think sometimes what ends up happening is that the desire to be in front or the desire to be the one who's seen, it's usually quite surface that. And people find their real talents once they engage in the industry at large. So I think it's always crucial to mention to people that, look, man, to produce one thing, when you watch the movie and you're looking at the 10 to 15 lead cast members, it's like, oh, this is great. But when you stay until the end, when those credits roll, you see the amount of people that it actually took to put together that 1 hour feature or that 2 hour feature. Yeah. It's not just the people who are on the screen. When those credits roll, sometimes 3 to 4 songs play while the credits are rolling, just to show you how big it is.
It's like, and I like watching the credits because, there's just a lot. I think that's how, for me as well, that's how I got to learn, okay, look, like all these names, this person was maybe a movie is being shot in Gaborone, and in Joburg there's the people who do stage design in Joburg and those who do in Gaborone and all those things. Now, again, you are an actor and comedian, and this is, this is a comedy, a comedy action type situation. And you say you and Kagiso have been working together for such a long time. How easy or how hard it is to get a script that is not necessarily a comedy and translated to comedy? How hard or how easy is it?
We had the fortune with Big Nunu's Little Heist to be working with the writer and director as the director. So Andy Castrol's, like DJ Admiral, many people have known him for many years as a film critic.
Oh, yes.
So Andy has done film columns. He used to even review films on the Fat Joe show.
Oh, yes.
He's that guy who's just always been the film buff, always been like very critical of films, enjoys films, loves cinema. So to be directed by someone who's that invested in the medium of cinematic storytelling is amazing, because this guy, he's got every beat down to the T. Wow. He's been sitting with this story for the longest time. He knows these characters intimately, and he knows the genre that he wants to work in so well. So he knows that it's an action film, but he also knows that it's a comedy film. So it was quite easy to do that, because the director and writer was already in that swing and was already looking for the kind of actors who would bring an action element, but also keep the backbone of the comedy element to drive the story. So that was quite fun to collaborate with someone who's been dealing with the world of this movie for such a long time.
Was it all comedians on set? Like in terms of the actors, was it people who are familiar with comedy, or some you just had to coach them? Okay, look, this is a comedy. We as much as it's action, we also just try to put out the comedy, to keep it as nice and laughable as possible. Was it all just the comedians, or there were just some that, let's say you get a person like me who just hasn't even acted before?
I think it was a good mix across the board. It was a good mix of like, quote unquote, like straight actors, just like people who are just performers, stand-up comedians, sketch actors, and then some people who like are usually like in the background, but now are coming a little bit more into the foreground because of like some speciality skills that they've got. So it was an interesting mix of different types of performers. Like there was even a rapper in there, like Duncan is like a rapper, and then there's a guy like Tulani who's like an actor, like just like a thoroughbred actor. A guy like Tony who's an actor / sketcher. Some of the guys are stand-up comedians, musicians. Having Jaseed in the thing, Bongo Muffin legend. So like it was an interesting
cast. Scene? I haven't seen him. Which scene was he on?
He's in the opening. He's the one playing, he's the one DJing when the stove is being delivered. Yeah, so Jaseed is in it.
The film is very interesting. Like you can just be in the background and, now
and it's an A-lister.
Very interesting. We're talking Big Nunu's Heist. I have the lead actor, right? So it's safe to say that this is your debut movie.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that.
Wow. So for most people who I'm sure have been acting for such a long time, they want to be where you are, because your debut movie is a movie that's on Netflix. That's seen all over the world the first time it came out. So that's big, man. We do continue our conversation. We get to wrap it up right here with Jeff.